Hello everyone, welcome or welcome back. This is going to be a two-part video. So this is part one. Let me get right to it, and I have my notes so I'm not all over the place. Hopefully I won't be. So I'm telling you about my life slash performance life in the past year, pre-pandemic and during the pandemic. And I'm starting in about, let's say, late spring, early summer 2019. So I was sending my materials, which include resume, headshot, cover letter. I was mailing them or I was emailing them to different casting agencies or different theater companies in the DC area. I was auditioning as much as I possibly could in the DC area, and I also was going between New York and DC auditioning for different things as well. So I saw something on Facebook on the DC Musical Theater / Theater Facebook page that Anacostia Playhouse was holding auditions for a juke joint show that was music, black music from 1920 till about the 60s. So I was able to get a time slot for a live audition. Soon as I walked in the door at Anacostia Playhouse, Adele, let me see her last name, Adele Robbie was there waiting in the lobby. I believe she owns Anacostia Playhouse. She runs everything. And in the audition room was William Knowles, the music director. He was on the piano. Rodney Williams, who was the choreographer, and Stefan Stevens, he was the director. So they were all in the room. So I think I sang There's a Boat That's Leaving Soon for New York. It might have been another song, I really can't remember. But I know the second song was Family from Dreamgirls. And I kind of messed that up because I messed up the words. And so then I started to mess up the melody. But I was a little mad about that with myself, but that was okay because I got a call back. And I did a monologue too. So that was, I did that, and then I got a call back. I think it was a week or two later, and it was a group call back. So the men learned a song from the show. The women learned a song from the show. Then we all came together and we did some improv together in the style of the show. I thought I did well. It was the same people in the room that was in the first audition, along with Adele, if I didn't say that earlier. It went well. I booked the show. I was so happy that I booked the show because I was auditioning so much and I wasn't getting anything. And I was auditioning for years. For years. And I wasn't really getting anything. And so I got that. Thank you, all of you all, for believing in me for doing that role. So rehearsal was 4 weeks of rehearsals. Rehearsals were 5 days a week, Monday through Friday for 4 hours. Let me tell you, I had a day job. So I worked my day job from 8 to 3. I was a teacher for a child care agency. I am a teacher for a child care agency. And I would run home. I took public transportation to work because it was downtown. I would run home, get my get my dinner, and get the car, sit in rush hour traffic to go across town to Southeast for rehearsal. Stressful. But it was worth it because the show was amazing. And it ran for 3 weeks, and everyone who saw it loved it because it took them down memory lane. And I learned a lot from that show. I learned that I can memorize quickly. I learned that I can learn music quickly, take direction well, and that I still know how to move around on stage. I still know how to dance. And I say that because I've been doing so much opera and so much classical music, and I haven't done musical theater really since high school, which was 150 years ago in the acting world. It's that long. It feels that long. So I was happy. So after that show, 6 weeks after that, Dewdrop, I had a concert at my church. The October Fellowship presented me in concert. So as the show was running, I was learning as the show was learning, getting tongue-tied. As the show was running, I was learning music for my concert at the same time. And I was nervous about this concert because of the jazz section and the gospel section. Not so much the message / pop section, because I sang Wind Beneath My Wings before. But the jazz and the gospel section, really, it was, what song did I sing? Can't remember. I Need You Now. I was nervous about that song. And Solomon Sparrow played for me. He was my accompanist. And I remember we had 2 rehearsals together. And he told me, he said, Marcel, sing I Need You Now how you would sing it. Do not sing it like Smokey. Because that's him and this is you. You can take the runs out and do a run here and run there if you feel like it. You don't have to do the high notes. You can just make it your own. So I did, and I ended up being comfortable on the song, even though I was still nervous. I'm not going to lie to you. I was still nervous. And I was also nervous about Here's to Life. The first time I ever sang jazz. And I chose that song because my friend Michael introduced me to a recording of Shirley Horn singing the song, who's a fellow Washingtonian. And I fell in love with it. And the reason that song was hard was because it's not a really singing song. It's more like talking on pitch, and the phrasing is all about phrasing. It's not a long line arc phrasing like we have in classical music. It's more so, I give a little here, I say another few words here, and then I'm thinking of this. So it's more like you're making up the song as you go. That's how it sounds when you hear it sung. And I'm proud of myself that I did that song because everyone loved it. And I also sang Black and Blue by Fats Waller, and that went well too. So I'm happy that I went out of my comfort zone for that concert. And I learned that I can sing other styles of music other than classical. But I sing everything in the means of my own voice. And that's what I learned. That no matter what I sing, no matter what style it is, I have to sing it in the means of my own voice. And that's what I learned from Dewdrop In. And that's what I learned from the concert that I did right after Dewdrop. So thank you for coming by and seeing this video. This is part 1. Come back next week to see part 2.